All right. I am just pulling it together here, you guys. I just hopped out of the pool. I had to cool myself off a little bit. It is a warm one out. And it's Thursday night. Let's see, for posterity's sake. June 23rd. Probably a pretty special day if we were to look at everything that's going on. Let's see, have I got the chat turned on? Okay, chat's on. We got two people showing already. Lenny Racine's with us. Hello, Lenny. How you doing? All right. I want to bring a couple things to your attention here before we get into the meat of this. Robert Podbelski. All right. And the meat of this is going to be about how bad do you want it? Okay. I had a conversation with somebody today, and it really, I went to my wife and I said, I don't believe this, but we see it a lot. And I think that it's something that the tribe really needs to acknowledge that it exists and think about it for a little bit. Think about it. So this is what we're not supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be getting together in the churches and the taverns and talking about things, because then we get smarter. And I think that the powers that think they ought to be like us to be just kind of dumb and not network and not figure things out. So anyway, I'm going to let it rip here. Andy, how you doing? Hit that like button. Yeah, right on. Don't let Andy be the only one. On my screen, I can't even see the likes. I can't. So Robert Podbelski, you better like me. All right. Well, little information here. The next thing that's coming up is the 9th of July, which is right around the corner. And that's a big deal. So today's the 23rd. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 9. So we're about somewhere around 2 weeks out from Tribe Day. And that's a pretty big deal. We've been getting a lot of input on that. We have quite a few people already reserved for the campground, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a party. It's going to be a party. Crunchy Mama is going to be with us. That's for sure. That's for sure. Talk to him today. All right. So Jill titled this, How Bad Do You Want It? And let me just tell you the conversation that I had. Today is our day for custom processing for chickens, for poultry. And we require that our customers drop off between 5 and 8 on Thursday night. And then we require that they pick them up between 5 and 8 on Friday night. None of this Saturday morning stuff or Sunday afternoon. No, none of that. They all have. So that's how we do it. If our customers can't meet that, then they can't come here, right? So had somebody show up, and she had told Jill that she was going to be scaling her farm back. And when I heard that, I was like, well, why is that? Like mostly everybody that I know that's in the farming business is seeing opportunity here, and they are scaling up. And I just interesting because, you got people that are coming to get their animals butchered, and it's a real easy conversation with these people. I mean, if I meet somebody in town that I don't know if they're farmers or not, where do we begin the conversation? But these people are small farmers or homesteaders, or at least they keep chickens anyway. But she says, oh no, I'm getting out of it because we're getting too much hassle from MDARD. And I said, really? I'd like to hear about that. So we unloaded her chickens, I think quite a jag of chickens and a bunch of turkeys and stuff. And I said, I'd like to hear about that, because I'm thinking maybe there's a solution to the problem that she's having. And that's really what I want to pass on. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you what I want, and I'm going to tell you how bad I want it. How bad I want it, right? So we finish up getting her unloaded and stuff, and she pulls her truck out of the way. And all right, Justin's with us right on. Yeah, it's a little warm here today. I wish it was a little hotter, actually. I sleep better when it's really hot in our room. Even better when there's mosquitoes. That really makes it good sleeping weather. But anyway, she tells me her story, and there was a very easy solution to it. She had entered into a contract with the Department of Agriculture over selling poultry. They have certain rules. And they were telling her that you're not meeting our rules, so you can't sell your poultry. And, they can say what they want. It's sort of like, the bagger at Walmart saying, I don't want you breathing as much while you're here. They can say what they want. But as we have enunciated many, many times, that you don't have to play their game. It is not compulsory. You can come back to your fallback position if you don't want to play their game. And some people do. They do want to play their game. But if your fallback position is the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which states that your life, liberty, and property, which is also your process, is protected under due process of law. MDARD don't make laws. Right? They make regulations, they make rules, but that doesn't mean that you are under any obligation to follow those rules if you never agreed to follow their rules, right? And so this woman's, the answer to her predicament was really easy. And I told her from the get-go that it's going to require that you hit the press to test button, and it's going to take some courage to do that. But then I said, not really, because they don't have any authority over you. They don't have the authority to execute you, to incarcerate you, to take anything from you. They don't have any of that authority. None. Right? If you get a license from them, they can take the license away. So the fix here is never get a license from them, never get permission from them to do squat, because you don't need it. And then when they tell you that you should do it a different way, you can tell them to go to hell, right? And then leave it right there. And then it's their move. And I'm not saying that it's going to go smooth. Like, I don't know. It's sort of like, let's say that somebody comes here and they make a lewd comment at my wife, and I were to say, that's enough, come with me. There's no guarantee that I am not going to get both my eyes blackened and my nose broken. They may be able to do that. But I am going to call it out. I'll definitely call it out. Will I prevail? I bet I will, but I might not. And the thing with MDARD, they are all about controlling agriculture the way they see fit. But we're under no obligation to comply with anything that they come out with. And they come out with some doozies. They really do. So I explained it to her 3 different ways, and at the end of the conversation, she said, yeah, but we're just going to do it anyway, because it doesn't, it's too much hassle. Like what they were saying was she couldn't sell her chickens at the farmer's market unless she had them processed at a USDA kill facility. Well, there's like two of them in the state of Michigan, and you can't get in there. They're doing, you just can't get in there. And it's one of their rules that they have, right? And we're not a USDA kill facility. We're not a USDA facility. We're not an MDARD facility. We're nothing. We're a Baker's Green Acres. We don't affiliate with USDA or Michigan Department of Ag. They're nothing to us. They're an organization that I just want nothing to do with. They offer nothing, for all the tax money that they spend, they do nothing. And they would probably argue with that and say, well, we provide food security and food safety. They really don't. They really don't. Anytime that there's any kind of recall or anything like that, it's usually somebody that they had oversight over that they didn't do a very good job. Anyway, if they were the Department of Agriculture, if they were true to the name of their department, then they would be gathering the farmers together and like saying, hey, we got to do something here. Looks like there's a food shortage on the horizon. Let's get together here and make provisions to get this taken care of. They are not doing that. We are doing that, right? We're doing it without them. And I've said for a long time, they should be called, the true name of that department should be the Department of Anti-Agriculture, right? So anyway, we got in this long conversation and I gave her the solutions to the problems. But then she said, yeah, but I don't really want to fight with them. My husband's kind of timid and I don't really want to do it. And I left it right there. I said, oh, I just wasted my time with you. You're not going to stand up for your rights. You certainly wouldn't stand up for my rights. You don't want it. You don't want it. And that was I came into the house and I said, that was a sickening conversation. I just wasted my time. And Jill said she doesn't really want it, So it wasn't that the Department of Agriculture threw something in front of them that they could not overcome. It's just that they didn't want it that bad. And there's actually quite a bit of fear in their whole household towards the Department of Agriculture and other departments too. They don't want to be put on a list, is what she said at one point. And I thought, boy, this was a wasted conversation. So I think it's something that needs to be talked about a little bit. The Department of Agriculture, I have a real soft spot in my heart for them. Even more so than the Department of Natural Resources. The Department of Natural Resources, they were the hired guns that came after us, but it was the Department of Ag that was the brainchild of the whole thing. Just a few twisted individuals that did it. And I got closer into them than I did the DNR people. The DNR doesn't let you very close, and they've got asshole tattooed across their foreheads, most of them. And you don't even want to get close. They're not thinkers, most of them. So you don't really want to be anywhere near them. They're just kind of bullies and, just not good individuals, the ones that I've met. And I know there's people out there going to say, oh, my uncle was a DNR officer and he's a really good guy. I hear that stuff all the time, but whatever, the organization uses tons of money and does nothing for the people of the state of Michigan. They're not transparent. You can't see where they're buying, what they're buying and selling. You can't see where the money goes. They're not good. They're not, and the Department of Agriculture is no better. They're not coming up with solutions to this food thing. So I have a soft spot in my heart for them, but my point here is that when you go into a farming operation and it's not a farm that you grew up on, so you understand it because your parents have explained it to you, and it's flowing through your veins, and you understand the ins and outs of farming. You are going to run into things that you don't understand, and because of the lack of understanding of it, it's going to be a problem. Like this lady here, um, if she would have done what I asked her to do, or just follow the steps, the solution to this problem, if she would have done that, she would have prevailed. Definitely, absolutely, she would have prevailed. But she didn't really want to that bad. She said, "Well, I don't really want to sell chickens that bad anyway." Oh, well, that's a stupid friggin', statement at the beginning. I thought you really liked your freedom. I thought you took a lot of care on these chickens, and now we're going to charge you a lot of money to process them. It'd be nice if you could recoup on them, but no, we're just going to give them to the homeless shelter, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do with them. But anyway, the question is when you enter into any process on your homestead, any process, even if it's something that, I mean, to you might seem kind of mundane, like transplanting a tree or putting in some berry bushes or, learning how to butcher chickens, whatever. You are going to encounter difficulties. And so I think for me from now on, I never really thought about it this way. I never really articulated it to myself that when like today, I had to get some micro sprinklers out to certain trees and bushes and stuff that I've planted, that it's starting to get a little dry right now, and I want them to flourish this summer, and I want it bad. I want them, like I've got a peach tree that's setting a lot of really nice peaches. I want those peaches. And last night I was thinking, ooh, I got to get water on them because they're setting fruit, and now is when they're going to need the water. And today was kind of hectic with everything that's going on, and I thought, nope, I'm doing that. I want that. And so I accomplished it. It took me a couple of tries, but then as long as I had the tools out and the parts and stuff, I worked on the grape arbor, right? So I got that all weeded out, and I got irrigation on that, did a nice job, stood back, looked great. But how bad do you want it? Do you want it enough to follow through? Do you want it bad enough that when you hit a bump in the road, you're going to find a way over it one way or another? And I think that, especially in this tribe, we should have people that are unstoppable. There's nothing that we do in this business, this career field, that is out of your reach. I mean, we have seen that with people who have disabilities. We've got a couple people in the tribe that I know pretty good with disabilities. When they bite off something, I don't think they're biting off things that they don't think they can do, or they know they can't do. So they're biting off things that are, pasture poultry is not exactly easy, but they bite that off and they accomplish it. Even if they lose 50 chickens, they keep on plugging. And I just think it's something that the tribe people need to they need to acknowledge that this is not easy. It might be easier for some people, depending on your background. But when you engage on a process, like you might be thinking, oh, I want to raise Mangalitsa pigs. I talked with a guy yesterday that wants to get breeding stock, and I'm very honest with him. I said, well, it's not a slam dunk. I don't want you to think it's a slam dunk. You lay down the money for breeding stock and you bring them home. There's all kinds of things that can happen. So it's not a silver bullet. I don't know of anything in the homesteading career field that is a slam dunk silver bullet. I don't know of one thing. There's definitely the ability to mix and marry processes that can be very, very beneficial to certain applications, right? Like my place is different than Bryce's place, right? And we do different things here than they do at their place. And we've gone different paths too. He went down a different path than I did right from get-go, right? I tried that one. That path is really hard for me. It seems like my path is easier for me for some reason. I don't know. I can't look at the soil and plants and say, what is wrong with you? Why are you not doing what you're supposed to do? But I have gotten pretty good with livestock at being able to look at them and watch the way they walk and watch the way they eat and their enthusiasm towards life. And I can kind of figure out what their thing is. I suppose if I dedicated myself to the flora end of things, it might be the same thing. And I thought I wanted to do that. I thought I wanted to be a plant guy, but it didn't work out that way. So now I'm more of a fauna guy. So that was my thing. It was like, how bad do you want it? How bad? What are you willing to do to prevail? Like, I used to work for this chief master sergeant. His name was Pete Wilhelmsen. And if you could see this guy, if you could see him, he was impressive. He was a Vietnam veteran. He maintained A-26s in Vietnam and told me all kinds of stories about A-26s coming back with foliage in the landing gear. They'd fly so low to get a good look and be able to get their gunners in close to be able to tear the Viet Cong up. But impressive guy, really impressive. And then I worked with him off Air Force time at the Aero Club working on puddle jumpers. So we had a lot of time to talk. And he used to tell me that, no, it comes down to this is a competition between you and that airplane. Who's going to win? Is that airplane going to whoop you? Because if it does, you might as well give up on just about everything else. You got all the resources you need. You got all the time in the world. You got all the support behind you. You are not going to give up on that airplane. You are not going to do that. You're going to do what needs to be done to make that thing fly. That's the way he'd put it. It's you against that airplane, and everybody's watching. So I think it comes down to that when you start up a homestead. Are you gonna do it, or is the first bump in the road going to throw you off and say, hell with this? And you know, I've got myself in a position where I said, that's it, I quit. I'm getting out of this. I'm not doing this. Somebody's going to get hurt here. But I just never did. You know, I like the Army Ranger creed, or one of their creeds. Not that I was an Army Ranger, but I read a poster one time and it said, I've wanted to quit this job 100 times. I just never did. Right. So it's like that in farming. I've said the hell with this a couple times. Usually in the morning when I wake up, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I don't know anything about this. But, you know, I get into it, and before you know it, I'm an expert by the end of the day, like right now. So listen, you guys, I got to cut out early tonight. My oldest son is here with my grandkids and stuff, and I have not connected with them since they got here to go swimming. But I got to cut out early. I would like to bring this up tomorrow and talk about it some more. Tomorrow's our open line. And I'd also love to answer your questions, but you're really going to have to allow me to beg off at 30 minutes tonight. I got something I have to do. I need to talk with these guys. And so that's going to have to be it. Okay, remember, anyone can farm. Keep your nose in the wind and your powder dry. Good night now.